Hello everyone, my name is Willis Mikky. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I have some Reddit stories. So, how about we get right into today's stories? And today's first post is from the subreddit Relationships, which also has an update, and it is titled, I, 28 female, want to have sex with my 26 male boyfriend. He wants to wait. What do I do? I've, 28 female, been in a relationship with my boyfriend, 26 male, for a little over a year. He's the best relationship I've been in. He's sweet, kind, hardworking, handsome, and overall a great guy. My family met him and he's the one I want to marry. Early on, we both decided to be monogamous, and we've talked about our previous relationships and how in the past I felt I've been used for sex with previous partners. He told me that he wanted to wait to consummate the marriage because he never wanted me to feel that my value to him is tied to sex. Initially, I loved hearing that from him. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I really want to have sex with him. We've done other things, including sleeping together in the nude, and when we get close, he just stops and says he's happy the way things are, and he's okay waiting until we're married. I'm at the point where I just want him, and I know he does too. Yes, we've talked about marriage. He told me he wants to marry me, but also be debt-free. He has about $7,000 in student loans he's paying off, and I'm completely debt-free. We've run each other's credit, so I know he's working to pay off his student loans. What do I do from here? Do I push him into going further with me in the bedroom, or should I accept things the way they are? I'm really conflicted. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend told me he's okay waiting to have sex with me. I was okay at first, but now I'm not. Before I give my commentary, let's go into the comments of this post to see what others think. Comment 1. Talk to your boyfriend. It sounds like he's still working with what you originally agreed to, which is to not have sex until marriage, so you don't feel like you're being used for sex. Since your feelings and thoughts around this have changed, convey that to him. Comment 2. You wait. Why is that so hard to understand? I don't want this to be the focus of my answer, but if a man posted this, he would have been shredded by now. The slightly longer answer, though, is you wait. While waiting, you are free to express how you feel. If you think he isn't clear on that, you are free to request to go further. You are not only free to, but I encourage you to go ahead and ask his exact reasons for waiting still, if he still feels the way after you make your side known. What you can't do, pressure him or make him feel less for wanting to wait, if that's what he wants. Comment 3. Trying not to sound rude, because I know you're struggling with this, but you have to ask yourself, do I want him or do I want sex? Because you aren't gonna get both for a long time, if ever. Wanting sex is fine, and when you aren't having sex, it's normal for that to be hard and even disappointing. But you absolutely have to respect that he doesn't want to have sex. If you want to stay with him, then you'll have to navigate your desire, which can absolutely be done and can even be productive in a growing experience. But if you want sex more than you want to respect his boundaries, that should be a clue to you that maybe you need to be with someone who wants the same thing. In any case, please do not try to push him into sex. think about something you really don't want to do that might go against your values. And now imagine someone you trust telling you that you need to do that thing in order to get love from them. You may not feel you're withholding love, but that will be how he feels, guaranteed. So now it's time for my commentary, and I would say to the OP, communicate. You have to communicate with your boyfriend. And also, this is very important. Do not overstep his boundaries. He's already set up. So, you talk about your points, how you feel, and you listen to what he says. And depending on what he says, obviously, you go from there. You discuss, you communicate, you have a conversation. You don't argue, you have a discussion with him. And hopefully, things do work out. And we'll see that with the update, which we will get into right now. My boyfriend stopped by my house. I work remotely and he brought me lunch. And he and I talked. I told him that I respect, love, and completely value everything we have. That I never loved anyone like him. I also told him I fully respect him wanting to wait. And if that's how he feels, I'm 100% on board. But I want to have sex with him. I've never been treated as well by a guy like how he treats me, and that he feels extremely important to me. He said he wants to, and that he kept putting it off because he doesn't want me feeling like there was any pressure on me because of my past insecurities. He says he loves me, and that he wants to do a hell of a lot more with me, and that he wants to do it on my timeline. And yes, I'm ready. So we're going to take our relationship to the next level, and I couldn't be more excited. Too long didn't read. We had the talk, and it's all good. I like that update, and I want to see how other people feel about this update, so we're going to go into the comments of this post to see what people think. Comment 1. At least someone's getting laid. Good for you, OP. Have a good time. Comment 2. This is great news. You told him how you feel without pressuring him, and he turned out to feel the same way. Amazing. Thanks so much for the update. Stay open and communicative during this time, and smell each other's roses along the way. Comment 3. Read the first post. Really good that you can talk openly. It's wonderful that he makes you feel so good that you actually want to have sex with him. Hope you guys have an amazing time going through this adventure of exploring together. All the best. And you know, communication wins the day. I agree with all those comments. I wish the best for you, OP, and your boyfriend. Hopefully you two have a happy and long relationship together. But now it's time for the second post, which also has an update and is also from r/relationship advice. So let's get right into the second post. My wife, 30 female, admitted to a drunken one-night stand last week, and it has turned me, 32 male, into a robot. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, Kate, 30 female, for 4 years. Together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving, and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We discussed cheating in the past, and I was always clear that we would be over if it ever happened. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on the Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday, but I knew she was going to be out to meet some friends at a bar. I trust her 100%, so didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I text her saying that I hope she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m., so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but no answer. After a few hours, I tried again a few times, but still no answer. Around an hour later, I got a message saying she was fine and was driving back soon. Kate got home late afternoon, and she looked awful. She had clearly been crying and not wearing any makeup, unusual for her, and looked like a shell of a person. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made her some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she bursted into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes while I was trying to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had slept with someone last night after the bar. At that moment, something in my brain broke. I can't describe it any other way. I immediately got up and jumped in my car and drove off. I went to a park and walked around it for about an hour. Kate was calling my phone consistently, and I turned it off. When I got home, I got 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I threw some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up into a ball, sobbing. I called Kate's best friend, who lives nearby, and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and to ride her to her place, and that Kate would explain everything to her later. I told Kate I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs, trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone, and so were the cases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her I needed her to send me an email with as much detail as possible of that night, and if she leaves anything out, there will be no hope of reconciliation. I received this email on Monday night, but still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I've just been working, exercising, and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude demanding an explanation. I told her to speak to Kate and closed the door in her face. I have also been speaking to a divorce lawyer and have moved money into separate accounts and blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I've been on autopilot. I don't feel anger, upset, or overly emotional. Just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point to try to reconcile? Is it normal to feel like a robot? And how do I snap out of this? Edit. I just want to add that when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual. She was drunk, but knew what she was doing. Too long didn't read. Wife cheated out of the blue, and I have been going through the motions since finding out. Before I give my commentary, let's see what the comments have to say about this situation. Comment 1. If you have someone you trust, I recommend that you spend as much time as possible. You say that right now you don't feel anything, but sooner or later the feelings are going to hit you, and if you keep that all in, it will be worse. Comment 2. Honestly, I would do the exact same thing as you. Cheating is a huge deal breaker for me. There would be not fixing it for me. So, unless you think there may be any chance to work it out, I'd say you're doing everything right. If you're unsure, keep everything as is. And if you have talked to a lawyer already, hold off on filing for divorce and maybe talk to a therapist first to sort out your feelings. She knew how you felt about cheating, and there's no excuse she can give you to justify it. If she loved you and respected you, she would not have done it, period. I'm sorry you're going through this. So now it's time for my commentary, and personally for me, I would say you're doing everything right. This feeling that you're feeling of, nothingness towards her, it's going to eventually turn into, a lot of feelings towards her. So I would say stay strong in that department. Lean on friends, lean on family, lean on people you trust and care about. And personally for me, cheating is a massive deal breaker for me, so I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to trust somebody who cheated on me. And yes, this is easier said because I'm reading a story, I'm not living through your situation. You clearly love this woman, otherwise you would not have married her in any way, shape, or form. You would not have built a life with this woman. So it's going to be difficult, but I would say be strong, honestly. Get as much evidence as you can. That email might be able to help you in that aspect. Send it to a divorce lawyer when you have it. If you are going to meet your wife, I would say record the conversation and use that as evidence. OP, I would say best of luck to you. Go through with what you're planning. So let's see with the update what OP does next. After reading your comments, I decided to meet Kate but not read the email. Kate came to the house yesterday, and when I opened the door, she looked terrible. She tried to hug me and started mumbling apologies, but I stopped her and we sat down to talk. I started by telling Kate that I would be recording the audio of the conversation, and she agreed. When I asked her to explain what happened and told her that I haven't read the email she sent, Kate said that she had been at the bar with two friends. I know and like both of them, and told me that she had to drink. I was surprised at how little she drank because it was the same amount we would normally drink when going for dinner. A few glasses of wine and a cocktail. She admitted she was only slightly tipsy. One of her friends, Sarah, who has a younger brother, Max, 27 male, who came to pick them up around midnight. It's a running joke in the friend group that Max has had a major crush on Kate since high school, and I heard them joke about this. The four of them went to get some food, and Kate then dropped each one of them off until it was just him and Kate. Kate said she didn't want him to drive the 20 minutes to her parents' place after working all day, so would just order an Uber from his apartment. She went into his apartment to order the Uber, but couldn't get one. Max suggested that she would crash in his bed and he would take the sofa. He would then drop her off in the morning. Kate refused and continued to try to find an Uber. They were sitting on Max's bed and he kissed her. She kissed him back and they ended up having sex. She confirmed again that it was consensual. After that, she broke down crying from guilt and Max took her home. She cried for another hour, then tried to call me to tell me what she did. We had to stop a number of times because Kate kept breaking down and crying hysterically. She told me it was a huge mistake. She got caught up in the moment. It was terrible. She only loved me. Blah, blah, blah. After she was done, I told her that her story didn't make sense. But it didn't matter at this stage because I was done. This caused another breakdown. I told her I was going to continue with the divorce preparations, but for the next month, we would be separated with no contact. I also told her that we would both remain faithful, would get full STD panel, and she would tell our mutual friends and family what happened. If she stuck to these conditions, I would be willing to meet again to see if there's any other way forward other than divorce. She enthusiastically agreed to this, but made it clear that she did not expect me to stay faithful to her. I know many of you will criticize this decision, but I need to make sure that divorce is the right option after I had time to process everything that has happened. I am 99% sure that is where we'll be heading, but I need to be 100% certain. Edit. Just to clarify, because many of you seem to be focusing on this point, I've had mutual friends and my wife's family send me nasty messages, turn up at my house, etc. because, according to Kate, I kicked her out over an argument. My request was that Kate tell them it was because she's been unfaithful, not a full rundown of everything that happened. Too long, didn't read. Heard the story, didn't believe it, but it will slow down the divorce process to see if there's any hope for the future. There's a couple of things that stand out to me in this post. And one of these things is that the wife expects OP to not be faithful. But the reason why that they're in this situation in the first place was because she was not faithful to her husband. She cheated first. She cheated, so now she's concerned that he'll cheat back? It's always a cheater's mindset as well. That's what annoys me. And also the fact that some of OP's mutual friends and the wife's family are getting at OP because she lied about why he kicked her out. That's not cool at all. Now, I know I would have started the divorce process, but it's easier for me to say that because I am not in OP's situation. I have not walked a mile in OP's shoes. It's always easier said than done because people don't walk a mile in that person's shoes. So I completely understand that. But in my mind, divorce is the right answer. She cheated. The trust is gone. As soon as the trust is gone, there's no real relationship anymore. That's a big factor in a relationship is trust. And if you can never trust your wife again, she doesn't deserve to be your wife. So OP, I wish the best for you in whatever you choose. Hopefully it is divorce, but if you choose not to, I still wish the best for you in whatever you do. Best of luck to you, OP. And hey, that was the end of this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's stories. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of today's stories? What would you do if you were in the OP's situations? So let me know that in the comment section down below. But for now, I will see you guys next time.